8 people were injured in Boulder, Colorado in an attack on an event to support Israeli hostages. A man threw homemade firebombs into the crowd at that weekly demonstration meant to raise visibility for those still being held in Gaza. The 45-year-old suspect is now in custody. He reportedly yelled "Free Palestine" as he used a makeshift flamethrower in the assault. The FBI says it's investigating the incident as an act of terrorism, but police in Colorado have been more cautious in their approach.
There was a group of pro-Israel people that were there in a peaceful demonstration. I wouldn't even call it a protest. I believe that happens frequently down here. They were there in that area. We are looking and actively interviewing victims and witnesses to determine if that group was targeted or others, and we just don't have those answers yet. We are not calling it a terror attack at this point. Again, it's way too early to speculate motive. I know there's a lot out there on social media, but I ask people just to give us a little bit of patience while we work through a really complex scene. Our initial call, as I mentioned, was a report that someone was setting people on fire. That is fairly consistent with the injuries that we found on scene, but we're not 100% certain how that happened, and that's what we're doing to interview. There's a lot of witnesses that we're interviewing. I suspect within this evening, we'll have a better idea of exactly how those injuries occurred.
France 24's regional correspondent Wassim Cornet gave us more.
Well, you can really hear the caution in the language being used by Boulder police at this hour. They are saying that they are still carrying out investigations. Meanwhile, the FBI, federal authorities, have been very quick to take a very strong stance, calling this a targeted terror attack. As you mentioned, they did arrest a 45-year-old man called Mohammed Sabri Soleiman, saying that he used multiple homemade incendiary devices to attack a group of pro-Israeli demonstrators in the city of Boulder that is near Denver, Colorado. Local groups say demonstrators have been gathering every week since October 7th of 2023, both to show support for Israel and also to raise awareness for the remaining hostages currently being held in Gaza. Now, witnesses say the suspect rode up on a scooter, shouted "Free Palestine," then lit up a container on fire and threw it at the crowd, directing flames at the crowd. Soleiman himself was injured. He remains in hospital tonight under police guard. He has not been charged yet, but prosecutors say they expect both state and federal charges to be issued against him soon. And as I mentioned earlier, although federal officials are using the word terrorism, Boulder police are not. They are saying that they are continuing to to interview witnesses and comb through surveillance footage to identify exactly what happened, all the while acknowledging that it is the FBI that is leading the investigation. A spokesperson for the Israeli-American Council, that is a pro-Israeli lobbying group, has called this an anti-Semitic hate crime, but that is not what local law enforcement is calling it at this point. The FBI's designation of terrorism is in fact not so much is more about the nature of the act and whether it was violent, planned, and ideologically motivated. Now, this is all happening against a backdrop of rising tensions in the United States. There has been a real rise in hate crimes targeting both Jewish and Arab communities since the beginning of Israel's war on Gaza.
France 24's Wassim Cornet.